just checking in on you. We are going to work today on our pelvis, and it's going to feel real fun, real good. You'll notice as we work through that you get a lot of abdominal core work as we move the pelvis. So we'll tune in and we'll get into that and really focus on it. Let's start here, just finding a nice, comfortable standing position. Toes point directly forward. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Give yourself a little wiggle. And let's generously bend the knees and begin to articulate the spine. So let's in breath. Let's float the chin up. Let's open through the throat. As we exhale, drop the chin down and let's begin to round out bone by bone. Rounding our upper back, rounding our middle back, rounding our lower back, surrendering to gravity here. When you arrive into a forward fold, we take an in-breath and we float the pelvis up. We exhale, we rebend the knees, we scoop the belly, and we roll up, bone by beautiful bone. I already feel better. Let's do it again. In-breath, float the chin up. Can we go even slower this time? Bend those knees even more and allow a little more stretch in our low back as we make our way down. Arriving at the bottom, floating the pelvis up, rebending the knees, scooping and rolling the abdominals, coming up. And your last time here, we in-breath, we exhale, we roll down nice and slow. Perhaps you notice where your spine feels a little sticky. And then as you're ready, you float the pelvis up. You rebend the knees, you scoop the belly, rolling up, bone by beautiful bone. When you arrive at the top, go ahead and place your hands on your hips. We're going to start here by moving the pelvis into flexion. So I want you to feel the abdominals scoop as you start to draw the tail under. And then we're going to move into a lovely little anterior tilt, creating more space here and feeling a little curve in our low back. So just exhale, scoop the abdominals and feel that contraction. And then in breath. Let's use our Pilates breath here as we exhale. Shh. Knees are still bent. In breath. Let's take one more here. Shh. And in breath. Now come to that nice neutral position where you just feel a heaviness in the tailbone and just a nice neutral curve in your low back. And let's take it over to the left. You're gonna feel that left side contract. And then bring your pelvis to center and take it to the other side. Feel that oblique contract. Take it side to side. So this is a subtle movement. You're using the deeper hip muscles, you're using your obliques to pull the hips side to side. Okay, now let's get real precise. We're gonna go in a circle. So you're gonna float your pelvis back, creating that arch. Take it over to the left. As you contract, draw the tail under, scoop the belly, and then take it over to the other side, and then complete your circle. Let's continue in that direction. To the left, tuck under, to the right, and then back into that arch. One more time, knees are bent, to the side, tuck under, over to the right, and then come back. Now move your hands to your ribs. Try to keep those ribs static as you complete that circle. It's a lot of core engagement, right? You're like, yes. Take it side, front, side, back. Okay, now coming back to center, let's take it over to the left and feel that contraction and then just stretch. Feel that side body lengthen on the other side. You can support your head here, creating a little C shape, a little moon shape on that side. Feeling those muscles around your ribs stretch. And then let's come back to center. Let's go to the other side, starting first here, over to the right. And then tuck the tail, over to the left, and then back into that arch. Controlling this with the abdominals. It's a lot of work, right? You're like, what? How is this so challenging? challenging. I know. Maybe take your hands to your ribs. Keep the ribs static as you move from the waistline and just in the pelvis. You really have to focus here. Now one more time, all the way around. Hit every angle of that circle. And now hold it over to the right. Find that beautiful stretch through the side body. Support your head if it's lovely. And when you're ready, come on up. Beautiful, guys. Let's make our way down into a tabletop. We're going to continue here. Let's take just a couple cat-cows. So bringing the hands under the shoulders. Elbows are soft. Let's exhale. Let's round. Drop the head. Separate the shoulders. In breath. Let's extend the whole spine. 2 more. Exhale. In breath. And 1 more. Exhale. And in breath. Now just come to that nice neutral spine. Feel that feel the abdominals contract. Let's just move through the pelvis here. So try to just draw the tail under. It's that deep abdominal engagement. And then just release it into that beautiful anterior tilt, like you have a cute tail. Tuck the tail under. Keep the ribs and higher. Static. That's it. Connect to your center. Connect to those deeper abdominal muscles. One more time. We're going to take it in that circle. And now let's find that beautiful anterior tilt. Maintain that abdominal engagement. Remember, the ribs stay static. Take it over to the left. Take it under, over to the right, and then back. Take it over, under, back. Kind of feels a little more fluid here than it did standing, or perhaps it does. For me, it feels a little more fluid, but I'm also moving more in my ribs. Let's reverse directions. Take it over. Feeling those abdominals help you control and find precise movements here as you hit every angle of that circle. Now come to center. Here's our change. We're going to send a leg closest out to me, send it out to the side. You're going to find just a beautiful cat-cow here. So you're going to take your in-breath, you're going to lift the tail, lift the heart, and you're going to feel that big stretch in the inner thigh. And then you're going to round. Let's take one more here. In breath and exhale. Now go ahead and find that neutral pelvis, that neutral spine, and I want you to just wag the tail. So you're taking the hips over to the right, and you're going to feel a big stretch in your inner thighs, and then take the hips over to the opposite side. So as you pull those hips away from that inner thigh, it's going to stretch, and it's a nice, like acute sensation. If it doesn't feel friendly, you can just drag that knee back side to side, wagging your tail. One more time here. Now let's hold that pelvis as we pull it away from the thigh, and then we reach the same arm that's closest to me, and then we thread it through. Allow your pelvis to neutralize as you thread. And then we in-breath. And then we exhale. And then we in-breath again. If it doesn't feel good to have the legs sticking out, just come back into your tabletop. And now on this next one, float that up, that arm up, swing that leg back behind you. Send the pubic bone a little closer to your ribs. Press that foot down. Find a beautiful side body stretch as you create a banana shape here. And then come back to center as you exhale. In breath again. Come back to center. Last time here. And then release it down. Let's move into that other side. Other leg reaches out. This side might feel different. Take a few extensions of the spine. Rounding. Releasing. One more time, please. In breath. And exhale. Now keeping that leg sticking out or tucking it in, start to wag that tail side to side. You're going to feel that big inner thigh stretch. And now just hold it away. Feel that stretch in the inner thighs. And now reach that same arm up, the same side, that's the leg sticking out. Neutralize your pelvis and then thread it under. Oh, let's do it again. In breath. And then thread it under. Now one more time, focus on that rotation. Reaching as far away from you as you can, and then as we're ready, float that arm up, swing that leg back behind you. Press through the outer edge of the feet, lift the hips, find that beautiful side body stretch. And then come back up as you exhale. In breath, look down. Come back up. Float it up and over. And then as you're ready, release it down. Let's walk our knees forward and make our way onto our mat. Adjust your pants. It's always hard. You have to move the pants up towards the chest. Okay guys, when we're ready, we're gonna make our way down onto our backs. I want you to go ahead and bring your arms just outside your hips. Activate those arms and allow the heels to be oriented in line with your sits bones. Let's start with that gentle pelvic rock to begin. So exhale. Feel the sacrum, the top of your pelvis press down towards the mat, and feel that deep howling out sensation of the abdominals. And then release. Let's do it again. And then release. Let's do it again. Gentle pressing of the top of your pelvis. And now, when we're ready, come to a nice neutral pelvis. And I want you to just slowly begin to curl, lifting, rolling, pressing those hips up. In breath at the top, arms anchor down, strong arms. And then we lower down, bone by bone, articulating the spine. Let's do it again. Big toe mound, still press. Exhale to lift. In breath. Feel the length at the fronts of the hips, and then exhale, roll down. Continue for 2 more. Maybe find a bit more softness in your face, in your jaw. Whatever helps you, relax. And let's take 1 more here. And then when we're ready, we lower down. Now go ahead and find that same sort of pressing action, that nice engagement in the abdominals. And now I just want you to float that left hip up. And you're gonna feel, as you float that left hip up, it's like a small centimeter lift, but you're gonna feel a lot of engagement through your right obliques and your left obliques. And then just lower it down. Let's do it again. Press that left hip just a bit closer to the ribs. You're feeling your glute pull away from the ground, centimeter or 2. We use the metric system in my class because that's what got us to the moon. Take 1 more here. It's a lot of load on your obliques, guys. And then drop that down. Let's move to the other side. The right hip lifts. Feel that hip just pull away from the ground. Feel those obliques. And then lower down. Right hip lifts. So you're closing that gap. Right hip, right rib. And lower down. Arms are strong. That's a real intense abdominal engagement last time. And lower down. Now, rock the pelvis, curl your tail up, lift your low back up, lift your mid back up. Once you arrive at the top, we drop that right hip down. So just release the glute, and then we're gonna roll down on the right side of the spine. When you arrive at the bottom, Allow the pelvis to come back to a central neutral position and curl back up. And now your left hip drops. Glute releases and you roll down on that left side. I imagine like the left flank, to use a meat term. Come back to center. You're rolling down on your left flank. Press it up, curl it up. Right side drops, roll down on that right side. Come to center and press it up. Left side drops, roll down on that left side. And now allow the pelvis to come back to center. We're gonna add our arms, you do not have to. We curl it up, you can stay just where we were. We're gonna drop that right hip down, and as we do, float our right arm alongside our ear. And now you're gonna roll down, stretching the spine away from the fingers as you come down bone by bone. Bring that right arm back down, reestablish the center, curl back up through the middle. Left arm floats up as the left hip drops. Roll down on the left side. Isn't that lovely? When you arrive at the bottom, bring your pelvis back to center. And now from here, the right knee stacks, your left knee stacks, arms come out to a T, right into our spine supine twist. We take those knees over to the left. We exhale, we use that oblique to pull the knees back to center. We take it over to the right. We pull those knees back to center, using that upper oblique. Really press it down into the mat as you exhale. Taking it side to side. And let's take one more here, side to side. And now, as you're ready, bring yourself to center. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Drop one foot down, drop your second foot down. Let's curl and ready the abdominals as we curl head, neck, and shoulders up. We in-breath here. Try not to grip through your bum. And then lower down bone by bone. Nice and slow. Let's do it again. Shh. Guys, there's a difference between workouts that are challenging versus workouts that are stressful and also challenging. Here, it's challenging, but we're chill. Look at us. Our cortisol levels are leveling, maybe lowering, maybe decreasing. We're feeling our nervous system quiet. We're cultivating mindfulness, so we're really working the muscles we want to work. Now on this next one, we hold up. And from here, we're going to use that beautiful extra space we've created as we rotate to the left side. Pelvis remains quiet. In-breath to center. Exhale over to the left. Carry this weight in your abdominals, this tension in your abdominals. You don't need to press the hands into the head too much. They're just there for support. Shh. Now give me two more here. Shh. Now one more here. Shh. Finish out that side. Shh. When you're ready, come through center. Grab behind your thighs, hoist yourself up a bit more. Right knee lifts, left heel lifts. Both toes point, hands back behind the head. We switch the legs. We exhale, switch. We exhale, switch. We exhale, switch. We exhale, switch. Now if you choose, you stay right here, or you add rotation. We switch. We switch. We're moving here at the hip joint. So try to think about pressing that thigh away from your chest as you reach a toe over a beach ball. We switch. You have 5, 4, last 3, last 2, and the last one. When you're ready, bring both feet down, release the head, neck, and shoulders back down, and go ahead and take your feet as wide as your mat. Arms go nice and wide. We're going to just gently roll both knees over to the left, and then come through center and gently let the thighs go where they go. There's no force here. A reminder, your feet are wide. Your knees are not stacked. You're feeling that nice sensation through the hip. And now from here, one of my all-time favorite stretches. Let's all meet with the knees over to the right. And now you're gonna push that left hip forward, and you're gonna feel a big stretch through your psoas. your hip flexor. If it doesn't feel friendly, don't do it. Just release it and then push it forward again if you're taking that option. And then release it. Big stretch here. Push it forward. And then release it. Push it forward. And then release it. Now take those knees back to center, over to the other side. Stay here, or that right hip, that top hip, it pushes forward. It's pushing towards the left knee, like the space above the left knee. You're feeling that big stretch through your hip. Press it forward. And then drop it back. Now let's add a leg swing. So take those knees to center, feet are still wide. Take those knees over to the right. And now you're gonna swing that top leg and kick it long. Let it come back to where it started. Take it to the other side. Kick that top leg long, flex the foot. This is a lovely stretch for your low back, for your hip. It's one of my favorite things to do after a long day of sitting for capitalism. And you can take this even faster if you want. Can feel good. Get a bit of heat. Now take one more. Now hold with the knees over to the right. Hold that left leg reaching. And now you're going to find that same hip motion. You're just going to push that left hip on top of right. You're going to feel a big stretch around your sacrum, and then you drop. Push that left hip forward, top it forward towards your foot, and push it back. Press and drop. If it doesn't feel friendly, don't do it last time. And then replace that foot down. Isn't that a lovely sensation? It's very binary. You either love it or you hate it. Push that top hip towards your heel and then release it. Push it and release. One more time here. And now release it, bring it back. And when you're ready, let's roll over onto our hands and knees. Let's give ourselves a quick downward facing dog, up stretch. Prance the feet out, wiggle the head, shake it yes and no. And then come down to your knees when we're ready. Our right foot is going to come forward into a low lunge. We're going to take one hand to our belly, one hand to our low back. And I want you to find that same sort of tucking under sensation of the pelvis. And you're going to feel a big stretch through the front of your left quadricep. And then you're going to release it. A little rock here. I like to pull my front hand up and take my back hand down. It's not a huge movement here, it's subtle. But then we're gonna hold it and we're gonna sink a little deeper into that stretch. And here's your chance. If you'd like, you take your hands behind your head and you find just a little upward lift. And it's gonna feel so good through the front side of your hip. And then come out. And let's do it again. Tailbone tucks under. Lift the hips. Press the hips forward. Lift the chest. And then come out. 2 more. Press that tailbone down. Press the hips forward. Lift your chest. And then release. And now on this next one, it's your choice. You can stay right here, easing into that stretch. Or you can bring the spine to a neutral position and take that elbow up and over. And you're gonna feel a big, beautiful stretch all the way down the side. Okay, now here's our change. If you've taken that side body stretch, you come to center. We're gonna push the hips back as we straighten that front leg. It doesn't need to go all the way straight. And you're gonna hinge at your hip, draw your chest down. And then you're gonna test your balance and reach back up. Maybe find that lift in your chest. And then press the front leg long. Activate through that heel, press it down. Your hamstrings are working. And then you press it up. Now, if this doesn't feel good, you can use your hands here for more support on blocks or on the floor. One last time, please. Doesn't that feel lovely though? And now let's hold that hamstring stretch. So you can stay right here, or if you'd like, take those hands down You're digging the heel in. Try to press the hip away from the heel. So you're swinging those hips. You know how we've been wagging our tail? Wag the opposite hip forward and try to find more length. If your toes turn out to the side, you've swayed too far. Your IT fan needs a little more love. And now when we're ready, drop those hands. You can lift your chest and from here rotate. Rotating, and now you're gonna feel that IT band stretch. It's real tickly. When we're ready, drop it down. Then, let's move to the other side. This side might feel different, so find that position that feels good. I like to start with just the rocking of the pelvis and then press it back. Rock it forward. Guys, what is this music? Are we at like a lounge? Is this lounge music? Are any of you airport lounge people? I've been thinking, do I need to get a different credit card so I can be an airport lounge person? I've never been in one. Hands behind your head. Maybe as you sink that hip forward, you lift the chest. And then we just come out. And we do it again, press it forward. And guys, this is the same alignment principle you'd be using if you were finding like deeper back bends in a yoga class, like a camel pose. You're finding that nice heavy tailbone, and then you're pressing the hips forward as you open the spine. So you may not drop back very far. Just a side note. Anyway, let's go back to the airport lounge. Do you guys do that? Let's hold it here. And then maybe you stay here or you lift and lengthen the spine into a neutral position and take that little side bend. Whew. We are releasing today, guys. We are getting that stress out of the hips. Oh, feels so good. How many sounds have you made? Guys, I make sounds. I'm like, ugh. Okay, when we're ready, lift it back up. And now let's move into that hinge. So hands can stay here, or you can always bring your hands to the floor. But we're gonna start to push into that front leg. We're gonna hinge, drop the chest forward. Do it again, maybe find that lift. And then press back. And then lift. You can always have your hands down. This time, just hold that hip hinge. Hands can be here if you want more active. Hands can be here if you want to luxuriate in it. Again, start to wiggle that tail side to side and find that point where you feel like you're finding more length between your left hip and your left heel. And see if you can sink into it. Now, once you feel satisfied, lift the chest up. If you're not already there, float your left arm up. A T-band stretch. And then as we're ready, we're going to drop it down. We're going to bend through the knees in our final posture here. We're going to move into a half rock on our tummy. So you're going to slide that right knee out to the side. And you're going to lift your chest up into a Sphinx pose. And we're going to find that same pelvic press. With the knee that's bent out to the side, you're going to actively push that hip down. Not to the point of discomfort, but just a bit. And then you're going to lift the chest up. And you're going to feel that inner thigh stretch as you stretch the spine. And then we just lower down, sweep that leg back, take it to the other side. It might feel different. Lift the chest when you're ready. Press that left hip down. And then lower down. Our final stretch here. You can either stay here in your Sphinx pose, just lifting and lengthening the spine. If you feel up for it and you want to move into a big spinal extension, you can grab the tops of your feet, press that pubic bone down, lift your chest, lift your legs. And then lower down. 2 more times. You can also do this one arm, one leg, or no arm, no leg. That's One more time, wherever you are. And then we drag. Oh, push yourself up into a nice rest position. I always come into like prayer again. Let my back neutralize. Maybe sway the hips side to side. And when you're ready, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, prance a little, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Move those hips side to side. And then let's drop, and we will all take one final breath together. Good job. I hope you guys feel activated and mindful and also challenged but not stressed, because that's not who we are. Okay guys, have a lovely day. Enjoy those beautiful spines of yours. Enjoy that mobile pelvis and those strong abdominals. Go live that life.